All right, gentlemen, I'm leaving work and I want to pick up the engine. Maybe we'll put that bitch together tonight. I mean, that's kind of the idea, I guess, you know. So let's get to it. First I gotta stop at the bank though, get this guy some cash, and then head over to the machine shop. Okay, see you there. Alright, we're pulling up right now. I got some monies for him. Oh man, I got a lot of work ahead of me. Oh well, it's worth it. Alright, we're going in. Okie doke. Okie doke. Oh my goodness, fellas. Look onto it. Oh, it's beautiful. Beautiful. Alright, let's strap it in here so she don't go nowhere. Put this on. Okay. Alright, click her in. Alright. She's good. Boys. Boys. Safety third. Okay, see you later. Alright, just kidding. But we got them back there. We're gonna drive nice and slow back to the shop. Hopefully they don't flip off and smash and dent the thing, and then I'll have to just freaking weld it and sand it down with a piece of sandpaper. Anyway. Yeah, away we go, man. Gonna build some shit. It's gonna be fucking awesome. My girl's super excited. And it's gonna be flipping awesome. Okay, see you at the shop. Alright, first things first. We're gonna assemble this motor, but everything needs to be nice and beautifully clean. Alright fellas, fresh from the machine shop. Got a board out, nice and honed and pretty. So basically what I'm gonna do is wipe down the cylinders, you know, make sure they're nice and clean. And actually before I do any of that, I'm gonna clean all this bullshit off the edges here. And then we'll blow it out with an air gun. And then I'll clean it out real good. I got a parts washer in the other room. I'll go through it, make sure there's absolutely nothing in here, blow it out with the air gun some more, get some ATF, and we'll wipe down the bores, clean out the bores with it. And then do it a couple times, and make sure it's nice and clean. We'll get some assembly lube. I got some here on the shelf. And then, yeah, we're gonna start putting this bitch together. Get the bearings in and blah, blah, blah. You know, get it done. Okie dokie. Sorry, I fucking haven't been really filming much. I'm just trying to go along. But I'll get you kind of the important parts. I'm gonna bring the camera over here as I'm doing this shit, as I'm assembling it. I'm gonna actually take the fucking crank over and put it here first. I'm gonna take all the connecting rods off it because it pretty much gets assembled like a snowmobile engine or a two-stroke, whatever engine. You put you put your rods on first, and then set your crank in, then assemble the motor, and then maybe if I have time, I'll go over the torque specs in a way that you have to torque everything. This side, that side, blah blah blah. Connecting rods are just the basic torque spec for them, for this engine, for those rods, with the ARP 2000 studs, bolts, whatever the fuck. And yeah, I was just cleaning this off because this surface gets like completely pressed against the other one. It's like flat, so. And if you have any questions about the assembly stuff, so basically this is what you use to put this motor back together. This is straight from Subaru, 3-bond. So this is good shit. No leaky. And I'll go over the amount to put on and where to put on. These are the head studs, obviously, or the block studs, obviously. So they're your mains. So obviously you don't want oil going back through there, so you got to go around and whatever. But I'll go over that in a little bit when we get to it. I'm just going to clean out the cylinders a little bit with some ATF and make sure everything's clean. I pretty much got everything off. I'm just gonna hit this up a little bit. I mean, it's pretty clean. All right, so here we go. I'm gonna get the crank out. It's a heavy little bastard. So there you go. That's that. I'll do a little side-by-side comparison between these rods and the new ones, so you can see what they look like, the difference, the thickness. You'll see that the top of the rod is pretty much straight on the new rods, as these are tapered. So, yeah. Anywho, let's get this thing apart. Basically, I'm just going to double check and see what they had the torque spec at for their shit, and then see if it was all right, because there was some funny things about this motor that I found anyway. So yeah, let's just investigate. I just cracked them all, and I'm just going to disassemble them, and I guess we'll pull a rod out of the box and we'll just kind of do a side-by-side comparison of what they look like. Okay, here they are. There's quite a bit of difference. And this is the connecting rod, or the wrist pin end I was talking about earlier. Much more fatter. So yeah. Alright, now I'm gonna put all this bullshit on here. New bearings, and yada yada yada. But I gotta plastic gauge them, make sure they have enough clearance, and then I'm just gonna put them all on, put the bearings in the engine, put the crank in the bottom half of the motor. Alright, so we got the crank part assembled. All the rods are on there, and we're gonna get this thing ready to go in the block. Alright, we're gonna get our main bearings in, and our seal, and our crank and everything in here, and get it ready to squish together. Get the rods hanging down here, get the other ones ready to go up, position them, and put some goop on this shit and squish it all together with like 6 bajillion foot-pounds of torque and some stupid fucking sequence back and forth a million times. Okay, alrighty. So, main bearings are in. We're gonna get the crank and just drop it in there, nice and neat like. And then we're gonna put a little bit of this 3 bond on here, and get this thing ready to torque down. All right, here we go. I'll put this. Get my fucking strings dirty here. All right, so basically, these are going. Well, one's going. And we gotta do a little something like this, a little something like that. So gently, gently, gently place this in here. Don't fucking drop it. Don't do nothing abrupt. It's still got a way to go, so. Okay. We're in there, we're in there. Holy shit. Whoa. Scary. Almost dropped it. Almost dropped it. Okay, I just wanna. Holy fuck, there ain't no clearance in there, huh? Good lord. Fucking kidding me? How much clearance? None. So yeah, these pistons gotta be like fucking perfect. I don't even understand how this is gonna fucking work. Like, what? Are you fucking kidding me? Like, there's that fucking tight tolerance. Good lord. Alright, well, we got this ready. I'm gonna go and fucking some shit around here and get the bearings set into the other block, and then get the gaskets, because I know there's gaskets that go in that side. Get the gaskets installed with a little bit of this, a couple dots here and there, and yeah, keep it moving as usual. Alright, I got the crank in this half, I got the bearings in this half, I put the gaskets here. I'm going to get ready to go ahead and permatex all around where I need to permatex so this thing don't leak. And get it together, torque it down, and that is it. All done. Okay, I got the two halves together. If you guys have any questions about what I did or had to do or whatever with this, just let me know. There's like just a ton of stuff. Not really though, it's pretty simple. Connecting rods, I think they were 60 foot-pounds. I'm just getting this down. I gotta put this down and get it sealed before it sets, because you don't want it to set, you want it to get right on there, squish that bitch down. You don't want to set it because the tolerances will change. So that's what I gotta do. Get the studs in, bolt this bitch together, and you gotta do it in a sequence. Alright, so I've been slacking on the film and stuff. I'm actually torquing this pig down and, you know, getting her going good here. So, you know, I'm just snugging these so I can, you know, get ready to torque them, because they get torqued pretty good. And it's like almost midnight and I gotta go to work in a couple hours. But, you know, I gotta make some power, so gotta hurry up. Okay, now I'm gonna go and do the sequence and blah blah blah. Back over there, do that side, then come back here. Back and forth, back and forth. So you get the picture. Alrighty, welcome back. So what we're doing, is we're getting our ring grinded, John. We're putting our gaps on our rings. I got one in the bore here already set. I set it with the old piston so it's nice and square to the fucking deck. Basically what we have right now is, if you can't really see, but it's right here. We got about, it's a 10 thousandths feeler gauge. I don't know if you can see the number, but it's 10 thousandths, and I need to get this thing to about 20 thousandths for our application, and then we can start setting the pistons in. But I'm gonna do them all individually, one by one by one. So I'm gonna do this entire piston, then this entire piston, and that entire piston, stack them all on, and then get them ready to pretty much load the pistons in, and then put the wrist pins in. And yeah, it's raining like a sumbitch right now. So yeah, rainy ass Halloween day. Why?
Windy is that?
Anyway, all right. Well, let me get to it. I know that I haven't really shown a lot, but maybe I'll show the little bit of grinding and a little bit of assembly when it comes to it. And all right, we got our pistons, we got our rings, we got our fucking wrist pin retainers. This is part of the motor. We don't need that because I have extras. Anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna take all this stuff, I'm gonna lay it out, and I'm gonna go one by one back and forth to the block with grinding the piston rings so we can get our gaps. And my little ring grinder here, and yeah, we're gonna put them in one by one, and then yes, and then we're gonna put some Gapperoni pizza on other Subaru owners. All right. Alright, so this is my little production setup. I got the rings here. The compression rings are in the block already. That's my setup. Okay, so here we are. I got the rings set up here. I'm gonna measure the gap in every one. I'm gonna do them one by one, and then we're gonna do these ones. Are going to be, I believe, 4 thousandths bigger than the compression rings, and then well, maybe 6. I'm gonna make them 4 to 8 is what they recommend. So these are the second rings. These are the last rings, the oil rings. So these will be probably about 6 thousandths bigger than the compression rings. So the compression rings are going to be about 20 thousandths. So I'll have these at like 26 thousandths, and these ones you don't do anything with. These ones just, you don't have to trim them, nothing. Those go in, and that's that. Okay, so here's the deal with these pistons. The bottom oil rings have, one's flat like this. They're obviously all both flat, but if you look really close, only one has this little doodad sticking out, this little tang to keep it from spinning. So you'll get a set of these rings and they'll be all mixed together, but make sure that you separate them and you get one that's flat on the bottom, just for the actual bottom of the piston. Then you have your expansion ring that goes on top, and then you have this, look at it like that, it's right there, that little tang goes up in there. Flat one goes on the bottom, expansion ring in the middle, the one with the tang goes up on top in that little divot. And then, you know, so on and so forth. And then you just put your rings on, yourself a little ring expander, and then you just move them and put them on. Done. It's much easier than trying to pull them apart and twist them and snap them, and then you're screwed for another 2 weeks until you get more, and then you have to re-gap them. So anywho, that's about it. I already got one piston in. I'm gonna get this one all together and put it in the ring compressor and shove it down the bore. Fuck, that one went in fucking buttery. Butter! We ran into a small issue with this block. The rods are pretty much too diesel for this block, so they're hitting the block as you're spinning it over by hand. So I'm gonna have to either modify the block or see if they know anything about it, or maybe they could just ship me new rods or something. I don't know. But anyway, I'm gonna have to split it apart. Alright, so in between all this motor action, it's the day after Halloween, and put a new radiator in this beast because this radiator's shot. So yeah, welcome to my world. What'd you do? What'd you do?